guys. Hey, today we're doing something a little different. I apologize for the light. It's dark. It's about 6:20 and it gets dark at 5:30 in the afternoon now. Anyway, this is the old Exploder. I'm not really working on it. I'm just using the battery. But I want to talk about air compressors today, just briefly. Your little 12-volt air compressors that plug into your cigarette lighter or maybe is in one of your little jump packs. This is what you have. It's basically a little tiny air compressor. Now you see why it takes 30 minutes to air up a tire. Because basically what you've got is a cordless drill motor running this little tiny air compressor. Well, I decided I wanted something a little different, and I was scrounging around and I came up with some parts and I built this. And what I've got is, I think it's a 1 gallon, it was an old Buffalo. Got a 1 gallon, used to be a 110 air compressor. And this compressor unit that says GMC on it, actually I believe is an older air horn setup. And what it is, that's basically on top there is a starter motor for a lawnmower. And they took 2 air compressors, they mounted them at an angle, and it's belt drive underneath that blue cover. So this old Buffalo compressor, it shot craps. It blew the piston on it, blew the connecting rod. And so I had this stuff laying around. And I just decided to throw it all together. So I've got a pressure valve. There's a pop-off valve right there. Got my quick connect. Of course, I could put a longer hose on it. But for what I want, basically, is to air up tires. So I've just got this coil hose here. I am using the factory pressure switch. So this dude will run up to about 110 psi, and then it kicks off. And I'm running 3 conductor, 14 gauge SO cord for power cord. It's good and flexible. With a motor this big, I wouldn't go much under 14 gauge size-wise. But there are other compressors like this available. If you look in RVs, older RVs, they had air compressors that pressurized the water tank, and that's how you had pressurized water. Coleman made them. Like I said, air horns. Some of the old Pontiacs and other GM cars had air ride suspension. You can get them. They're 12 volt. They don't pull a lot of current. This one here, like I said, I'm running 14 gauge cable. If you run very long of a wire or too small of a wire, your voltage is going to drop. Not only is it not going to run very fast, but you'll end up burning up your motor because of the voltage drop. But I had the cable laying around. This set of alligator clamps here. Sorry, let me get a better. This set of alligator clamps here actually came off of a bigger power inverter, and I just had them laying around. They're real short, but they they were brand new, and it just served a function, made it easy to connect. Plus, I don't have to worry about them. But anyway, so this has already built up pressure and kicked off. If you'll bear with me for just a second, I will drain some of the air out, and we'll let it kick back on. You can see how fast it runs and everything. See if I can do this one-handed. Okay. So there she is running. It's fairly quiet. We're sitting at just above 50. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. We're setting it just above 50 psi. It takes about a minute for 25 psi to build up. So it takes about 4.5 minutes to build this up from 0 to 110 psi. Now I'm not done with it yet. On these two tabs up front, I want to mount a carry handle that probably comes up over the motor. And in this copper line right here, I want to add a check valve or a shutoff valve because the air pressure actually bleeds back through the compressors. And so once you build the pressure, if you walk away for overnight, then your pressure's all gone. And so I want to do something like that. But all in all, it functions. It works good. I've got enough cord on it that I can carry it around the truck, easily. I didn't really need that much cord on it, but it was what I had. And when I find a good piece of cord, I hate to cut it down, because then if something happens, I can use it on another piece of equipment. Let's see where we're at now. Once again, I apologize for the light out here. But with 14 feet of cable, there, she just kicked off. With 14 feet of cable and this coil hose, I could reach back to my tires on my trailer if I needed to, in a flat situation or side of the road type situation. But anyway, sorry about that, just trying to, where you can see, kicks off at about 110, and I think it kicks back on about 80. I'm not sure, I haven't paid that much attention to it. But anyway, guys, there's one of the projects. Again, sorry about the funky light and flashlight work, but it's dark out here early, basically about the time I get home. So if I'm going to get anything done, we got to work with lights and everything. But one thing, if you're going to build something like this, if you get one of these units, and probably with several others, the motor gets warm, it's not bad, but these compressors get hot. Your belt's all protected, you can't get into it. But if you build something like this and you have kids around, let them know, don't touch those, because they do get hot. Well, guys, I've got some tires to air up on the trailer, so thanks for watching.